The US military might have just leaked that their sensors they used in 2004 to see the Nimitz encounter have been upgraded to see non-human intelligence craft. Now, you know, and I know, that there's lots more Department of Defense videos, like the so-called Nimitz videos, which can't be shared for one very interesting reason. And that is, look, most planes don't have video cameras, but what they do is screen record their forward-looking infrared or their other sensors. And if they come across an anomalous event, a UAP, it gets filed. But that screen recording can't be made public because it would reveal how the sensor worked, what it was sensitive to, its range, its type. Obviously, that makes perfect sense. An enemy learns about what sensors can do in the US Navy by watching something on YouTube. It's not going to happen. And this retired CIA science technology analyst, John Ramirez, really says something very interesting. I'll just read what it says, and I think, like me, it will trigger in you viewers a oh moment. What he says is this: the F-18s of the era, 2004, could not have seen an NHI UAP because, he said, at the time, the 2004 forward-looking infrared sensor could not spot redshift and blue shift gravity shifts of NHI craft. Oh, I'm putting my basic science TV hat on. I mean, I know about redshift. Redshift is vital. I mean, that whole story about the expansion of the universe. You can see that a galaxy is moving away because the light from it is redshifted, because it's going away from you. And we all know just from common knowledge when we listen to this, the Doppler effect, a siren's frequency gets squeezed as it's moving towards us and stretches and so lowers in pitch as it goes away. Let's just listen to this again. Yeah, you got it? I mean, that's Doppler, redshift. It's quite well known. But we need to turn that on its head. And blue shift and redshift in the opposite direction is a signature of gravity warp. Okay, why? I asked Jack Savati that, and he actually pointed me to this amazing equation and back to a piece by Tolman that was done in the 1930s, proving that light, photons, traveling away from a high gravity source, say photons coming from our sun, have to lose energy. So instead of them being blue shifted as they come towards us, they actually appear red shifted. For some physics reason that I don't fully understand, and there's an equation to go with this paper, shows that things moving away from high gravity, such as a gravity wave, actually redshift, the counterintuitive, the wrong way, towards you, and blue shifts as they fly away. And I've read through John Burroughs that departing blue shift, as a craft departs, has frequencies that can harm the human body. And Jack Savati just loves it because, I mean, it proves that warp drives. But hang on a minute. What Ramirez is actually saying here is that he's actually revealing what modern FLIR, forward-looking infrared, probably does today that the Nimitz films don't do. And that's probably one of the reasons why the Department of Defense can't release the sensor data with other UAPs that they've recorded. Just maybe, I don't know, above my pay grade, that there's now sensors that can actually detect gravity waves. Why? Well, because that's how UAP work, and the military know it. So is this just random bollocks, or is there something more to it? There's something more to it. Let me share some extra information to prove what I'm talking about. Everybody talks about anti-gravity. But there's no such thing as anti-gravity, because gravity is not a force. Gravity is a byproduct of bent space-time. If you want to affect gravity, you need to affect how space and time is bent. So if you want to make a warp drive, something faster than light that can travel vast distances through our galaxy, you're going to have to warp space and time. And as a byproduct of that, you would affect your own gravity. There's been lots of research into warp drives, and it's carrying on today. It does seem that manipulating space and time is the best way to travel interstellar distances. And I think it's recognized that an NHI technology would use a warp drive. So how do we actually see a warp drive? Well, that's where this counterintuitive reverse blue shift and red shift comes in. Do the military today in 2024 actually have sensor systems that can actually spot NHI warp technology by seeing this blue and red shift? I think they might. But your physics tells you that nothing travels faster than the speed of light. Well, there is a way around that. If you can manipulate your local space and time, nothing inside that bubble or craft needs to travel faster than the speed of light. So a craft could be designed that observers within the local space-time environment experience normal movement in time. This is how it works. Your craft compresses space-time. Notice how I've now joined those together and called it space and time, space-time. So it compresses it in front of your ship and expands it behind your craft. It's the actual walls of your craft that create a bubble to generate that necessary momentum. Imagine a ball rolling down an inclined plane and you're inside it but not tumbling. It's a special movement in subatomic metamaterial in the walls of your craft that can produce this space-time bubble, meaning you can go anywhere in space and in time. And those type of craft, which are the most logical source of intergalactic travel, have a unique signature which now we understand and can spot. Our current military sensors now tuned to look for NHI warp technology. The truth is out there.